Now, today I'm delighted to have as my guest Pam Traut, and she's an outstanding plaintiff's lawyer and a member of ABOTA who lives in Orange County. Pam has 30 years of experience as a lawyer, and she's been with Traut Injury Law since 2014, where she does exclusively plaintiff's personal injury and medical malpractice work. But she has a lot of insurance defense work, having been a partner at an Orange County insurance defense firm where she practiced for 18 years. Now, Pam's been involved in numerous jury and bench trials throughout her career, and she's represented both plaintiffs and defendants. She was the 2024 president of the Orange County chapter of ABOTA. In 2026, she will be the vice president of the National Foundation of ABOTA, and she also serves on the board of what we call Cal-ABOTA, which is a board representing all the ABOTA chapters in California. So now in presenting evidence and you're talking to the witnesses and you're doing your direct exam or cross exam. Now, cross tends to be more fun in trial, but they're both important. So do you think there are some things that are important in direct exam that maybe people overlook?
I hope not. I mean, I think direct exam is probably the easiest thing to do, but I don't know that everyone does it effectively.
Yeah,
Some people don't like doing it because they think it's so boring, but this is where I bring in the prep your client part. Because sometimes they don't, they're so nervous and they're not elaborating. And when you're trying to get the general damages out there, which is the meat of your verdict, obviously, they just kind of clam up.
right.
And, I work with them ahead of time, because they're so used to me saying to them, just answer the question, don't elaborate, yes or no, blah, blah, blah. But I
Right.
always tell them when it comes to talking about the impact on your life, this is when I want you just to unleash, and then they're just, well, what do I say? And I'm like, well, describe yourself. Like we had one guy who literally described the the machinations that he had to go through just to wash his own car.
Ah,
And it was fantastic. I mean, the description that he gave, just step by step, and then I have to do this, and then it hurts, and it da 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 da. And just by putting it into real life like that, on a direct exam, I think that's the most important thing is making it relatable to people who are sitting there who may have never had pain in their life or never had an injury in their lives. That's a
yeah.
hard thing to do.
You have to tell the story in a way that they'll get a picture of their mind of what they're going through or what they're suffering, and
Yeah.
even if they've never suffered something like that. So I think direct exams are real important. I agree with you. You really have to prepare your client and teach them. And you're right. You tell them don't volunteer anything so much when they're deposed. You got to
Yeah.
retrain them to say, hey, when I'm asking you questions, talk about
Yeah.
this.
Just blah, let it come out.
Just
For
let
sure.
it come out. So let's go a little bit into the cross exam. And when you're talking about cross examination, um, first, do you have a preferred way you like to impeach witnesses when you impeach them? Because you could do it with, reading the depo. You could have them read the depo. You could show the depo transcript. You could show a video clip of the depo. What kinds of things do you do to impeach witnesses? And do you mix it up or do you use the same strategy?
I mix it up. I think it's important because to do that, because you got to know what kind of witness it is. Impeaching an expert, way different, obviously, than impeaching a defendant or an
Yeah, very
eyewitness,
difficult.
a police officer. I just find that if I'm going to use deposition testimony to impeach them, if the judge will allow it, I want to use video, because I don't know that all the jurors, even though you tell them what a deposition is and that they're sitting there, they're sworn to tell the truth, just reading it, if they step in it, up on the stand and say something that's completely contrary to what they testified to before, and I'm just sitting there reading it, it's way less effective than all of a sudden there they are, um, being asked that same question and answering it differently. So I like to do that. Um, that I think is way more effective
I
than.
agree with you. I think video clip impeachment is the most effective
Yeah.
because you've probably just asked the same question you asked in the depo because you
Yeah.
want to make sure you do it right. And then they say something different. And now they see on the video, they're saying a 180-degree different
Yeah.
story when they gave their depo.
Yeah. This was my first trial. So we're talking back in 98-ish.
Hmm.
We had the worst clients. It was a defense case. A woman was raped on this apartment complex property. Our clients were the worst of the worst. And when they gave their depositions, they were asked things like, this was like the owners of the building, do you think that security of your premises is your responsibility? No, no, absolutely not. I don't think that. All on videotape. So you can imagine other questions like that. So she's up there on the stand getting cross-examined, and they ask the question, do you feel that security of your apartment complex is your responsibility? Yes, yes, I do. He just snapped his fingers, and there she was up on the screen denying the same thing. And we got just hammered in that trial. But
Yeah.
that's super effective. But you got to have a tech person who knows how to do it right. Because if there's too much delay between the wrong answer and the depo answer being played, it loses its effectiveness. So, if you're
You
thumbing.
have to have it queued up and you have to be prepared for it. And also you have to be very careful in taking your deposition because as you know, and I know, a lot of times you'll ask a question and the witness starts to answer, then they go into other things. You don't want that. That's not a clip
No.
you want to show. You got to be very patient and go after them, say, I'm sorry, let me ask the question more clearly. Ask it you in a clear question, clear answer. That's your clip.
Yeah,
You don't want anything else in there. You
exactly.
really got to fight to get that in the depo. And if you're going to use video clips, you got to realize you got to get that. You got to be thinking like a video
Hmm.
editor in the depo.
Yeah, you can't take the depo like a depo.